All right, what's going on, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day that you're checking this out, right? Now, I was doing a quick search to see if the COVID-19 vaccine, coronavirus vaccine, whatever you want to call it, to see if it has actually not been approved by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, as many of people rumor it to not have been. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if that's fact or myth or whatever, right? So let me just show you real quick as we go down this little story that I'm putting together of what I come up with when I look for that in a search engine, right? Let's get it. Oh, look, top result right here. Boom, is the COVID vaccine FDA approved, right? And this is what I get. This is what I see. What the heck is it? See, you know what? This browser does something weird. I start in Google and it gives me Yahoo results, but it should say something similar. Okay, you know what? We ain't gonna waste too much time. Go to Google, put that in yourself. What are you gonna say? What are you going to see as the results? You're gonna see a direct answer of yes or no. No, you're gonna see something that says the FDA has authorized the COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use. Now, is FDA's authorization of a vaccine for emergency use, is that synonymous? Is that the same to FDA approved vaccine? That's the question you got to ask, but you do not get a direct answer when you try to look that up or whatever, right? So now we're going to move on to the brunt of why I wanted to jump on here and do this video real quick, right? Okay. So now, what's interesting is when people talk about, when I guess, I don't know, our officials, leaders, politicians, whatever, when they, headline doctors and everything, when they talk about the COVID-19 vaccine and its efficacy and its safety and stuff of that matter, they say that it's only a very, very minuscule, rare amount of people that have severe adverse side effects, be it blood clots, thrombosis, or whatever these terrible side effects that may be that can permanently debilitate or long-term debilitate people, right? However, I find it interesting, and I've seen this for a while, and this is why I wanted to do this in a video, is you don't want to judge a book by its cover. For example, let's say you watch a video and they talk about, someone talking about the side effects. Yeah. All right. Don't judge it by the cover because, you're going to have that 1 in a million and they'll sensationalize it and do a video. But what about the comments? What about when you open that book and really read through the chapters, i.e. the comment section? And I find it interesting that every time I read through comment sections with videos that are related to coronavirus, COVID-19 vaccine mishaps or whatever, or people that just get damaged or messed up by it, it's a lot of comments. It's a lot of people that have something to say either about themselves directly or their friends, family, or loved ones that have had an adverse reaction and in, a lot of bad cases even have died allegedly from the COVID-19 vaccine. You know what I mean? Now, one may say, just due to probability and odds and statistics of that type of nature or whatever, proportions, whatever you want to say, is all right. Logically, let's look at it. Let's say that there are just a very, very small amount of people that get sick and or die after getting the coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine, right? Well, heck, it would make sense that a video that is about adverse effects from the vaccine, it would make sense that those people would flock to that video, meaning that it's sensible to assume that it still is just a very small amount of people that are having bad reactions from the vaccine, and that very small amount of people are going to be magnetized to a video that's talking about just that. You get what I'm saying? Meaning it could still sensibly be understood that it's very, it's a less than 1% or fraction of 1% of people that have a bad reaction, right? I think that's logical to assume, right? However, when you read through a lot of these comments, what you're going to find is, sure, you're going to find a lot of people talking about, their friend got messed up, they got messed up, whatever. But every now and then, you'll find people saying that not only did they have a bad effect or their mother have a bad effect from the vaccine, but their mother's friend or their brother. You know what I'm saying? So you won't just find one-offs. You won't just find people commenting of just them or their loved one that got sick or died from the vaccine. You're going to find people whose loved one themselves or whatever have gotten sick or worse from the vaccine. And then you're going to find people around them that have also gotten sick from the vaccine. So we're going back to probability and statistics and, I don't know, percentages of chances of, things happening. And to me, when you have that, when you have clusters, when you have someone commenting about a cluster of individuals around them that have gotten sick or worse after getting the vaccine, then logic tells me that it's happening more frequent than what's being reported. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do is not really run through the videos. I wanted to just look through a couple of these comments. You know what I'm saying? And we'll even, or I'll even search for some new stuff live or whatever. I got some nonsense coming on the screen. Hold up. Get that out of there. All right. So here's a video right here. I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to look through the comments, right? Doctors, severe side effects from second dose of COVID vaccine possible, but shouldn't be deterrent, right? Let's see what the chapters say inside of this book. Belinda Kazicki says, we are being censored so heavily that every time I type in serious side effects from COVID-19, I always get some doctors saying this is normal. And let's see the replies. I think I've read through this one before, but, we'll go through some more. They're trying hard to, and we're clearly winning. Frantic, desperate push. Just said this to my son 10 minutes ago. There was 3 thumbs down for my comment. All right, some weird stuff happened with comments. Okay, this is just somebody that's scared. Okay, now here's somebody just trying to scare the crap out of this person. Change your username to Ghana. Making you taking the vaccine experiment is a violation of Nuremberg Code. And here, I'll put that so if anyone wants to freeze frame this and check out what that comment says. It was pretty interesting, right? I certainly hope it's not normal. Let's look at this one. It's sad for the people who died from vaccine can't speak to tell the truth, right? Look at this. His stepdad died of the J&J, that's the Johnson & Johnson, caused him to get blood clots. Yeah. Look at this one. Butterfly Whispers. Healthy 40 years old military male family friend had massive stroke, is alive, barely. Family devastated. Another friend of friend's mother, healthy 50-year-old, had clot, is dead. 3 other friends are losing clumps of hair like chemo patients, so that person is not lining up just yet. See, this is a spot-on example of the type of comment that I'm talking about, of someone that's not just talking about one person, but people around that one person or around them, multiple people that have had a bad reaction from the virus. You know what I mean? Look at this one. 99.8% of people survive COVID. Your logic makes no sense. How would being opposed to the vaccine generate someone a profit? People making money are the ones pushing the vaccine. That has to long-term studies. Tell you what, a good guinea pig. I'll tell you what, you be a good guinea pig, and if the vaccine proves to be both safe and effective, that person will consider getting it. If not, that person is happy to have taken the risk of contracting COVID over injecting a non-FDA approved experimental vaccine into thyself. Right? Look at this. One of this person's co-workers, his wife and son, caught COVID. His son was sick for 3 days. His wife had flu-like symptoms for 5 and made a full recovery. This person's co-worker didn't catch COVID himself, however. Okay, that's not related to the vaccine. But you get the idea. I bet if we keep going through more comments, we'll see more people talking about, either themselves or other people that have had a bad situation after getting the virus, right? Severe side effects, but don't worry about it. Okay, now this is an interesting comment because they talk about some because I'm not going to get on this video and give health advice and say whether one should or should not get the vaccine. I'm not even going to say if I have or will get the vaccine. I'm just putting out raw details that one might not have put in front of them as much shoved in their face as people saying, oh, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. That's all I'm doing. I'm just dispensing information. But what I will say and what I will advise is eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? Take vitamins, stay away from GMOs and stuff like that. Well, I guess technically I'm kind of saying stay away from the vaccine and I'm staying away from GMOs, whatever. But we won't go there. But, just eat a good diet, exercise, you know what I'm saying? Keep yourself in great physical condition. In life, there's really not a clear-cut shortcut to anything. Or if there is, it's usually going to be an adverse effect that's going to be waiting for you while you took that short. You know what I mean? So. But 95% nope, and Israel scientists has now figured out that even for fully vaccinated, the effect is on 60% because the Delta variant is spreading among all the vaccinated people too. All right. I'm looking for more people. Look, YouTube has removed all the complaints of death and debilitating side effects. This is not FDA approved. Interesting. This video may not stay up, but it is what it is. I don't really care. Or rather, should I say, I care enough that I'm not concerned with what YouTube may do to this. I just want people to think, and I want people to check this out. Whoever's watching this, I want you to take the challenge yourself shortly after watching this video or later or even right now. Just type in COVID-19 vaccine side effects or something of that caliber. Read through the comment sections. And I challenge you not to find at least 2 people that are commenting about they themselves having a severe bad reaction or worse, but not just for themselves or their loved one, but for a multiple amount of people that either they know or inclusive of themselves. You know what I mean? You're going to find multiple people that are talking about 2 or more people out of their network that have had a bad reaction from after getting the virus. You know what I mean? So, but interestingly enough, where I want to end this thing on is this video right here. I got this from the comment section. Dr. Louis Legendick, Dr. Louise Legendick, MD, shares her thoughts on mRNA COVID vaccines. So check this out. I found this quite interesting.
Hi. This is Dr. Louise Lagendijk, and I normally don't do these kind of things because you won't normally see me talking about a lot of medical stuff here. But there is something I wanted to address because what I've been seeing is a lot of people come to me with questions around should I or should I not take the vaccine. Now, first, let me tell you why I think I have something to say about this, because there are so many opinions and there are so many people who find so much. And I just want to express what it is that I have been seeing and what it is that I know, because I think it is my task as an MD to educate you and then for you to make an informed decision. So why do I know anything about molecular genetics? It's because I did part of my PhD in molecular genetics in the Academic Medical Center and bioengineering at Harvard. So let me first explain to you what the particular vaccine that we are now giving people in the Netherlands. I'm going to talk about that part because we here in Holland have an mRNA vaccine. What does it mean to have an mRNA vaccine? What is mRNA in the first place? Now, for you to understand that, we got to first go back. In every cell in our body, we have DNA. And DNA obviously is something that is what the cells are made of. We all get that, right? Because that is your recipe. Your recipe is the DNA. That is where all your information is being stored. And depending on whether or not it's going to be translated into a protein depends on RNA. So that really depends on what it is that you're going to use as a transcriber. Now, let me get back DNA is the recipe. This means that this is whatever you can throw into a pan, right? You don't always have to put every ingredient into a pan either. So DNA is all the possibilities within the recipe. Now, then there is the, say, translator, which is the RNA, and especially the messenger RNA. It's called messenger RNA for a reason. That translates it into protein. And protein eventually is the building block of all our cells. So we got all these different little proteins, and they eventually build all the other parts of the cell. And that obviously becomes tissue, and hence you've got a body. Now, what is this particular vaccine? And that is the mRNA vaccine. Normally, what we do when we vaccinate people, we give them a part of the viral or bacterial protein construct, so that the body recognizes the protein and goes, "Oh, this is not a protein that I want. This is a virus. Let's attack it." And then the immune system starts to ramp up and it starts to attack everything. Then, now what we're looking at is an mRNA vaccine. This has not been tested on large populations in people. Let me put that.
Let me just add, I'm no expert, but, I could research just as well as anyone else can. And what I found out about vaccines, and I've spoken about this before, is on the normal side of things, it'll take anywhere from 8 to 15 years to test a vaccine before they put it out to the public. This joint right here came out in somewhere between 8 to 10 months.
First. Second of all, then what is it exactly? It means that we're giving the body, or at least the cells in this case, information based on genetics. So that means that we are going to be able to, you still need to first make, from the RNA, you still need to make a protein, because the immune system attacks the protein. It doesn't attack the RNA. The immune system is being triggered by a protein. Now, the RNA still has to make this particular protein. So what if, and it's not even a what if, this is a serious concern, the mRNA is going to translate into a different protein. It's all of a sudden going to express something else. And that means that the body is going to attack proteins within your cells and finds them like they do, and thinks, oh, I don't recognize this, I'm going to attack it. And it could be anything. So then you create something called autoimmune disease, which you attack, you do it yourself, you attack yourself. And the point being here, this could potentially not happen in the first place, but it can happen maybe 2 to 5 years from now.
You heard that? It could happen maybe 2 to 5 years from now. 2 to 5 years from now, potentially one can have an autoimmune disease or effect after, the onset of them getting this vaccine. So in short, what I get, I'm no expert, but, just listening from what I understand from what this woman said is that she was comparing the normal way people get vaccinated. And how's that? You take a very, very small piece of the very ailment, disease, whatever that you're trying to vaccinate against. You put that in the needle, stick it in someone. It's small. It's so small that it's not going to do harm to the person. However, it's big enough for the body to recognize it as a protein that it does not like. It'll get rid of it. So then if after that one, ends up being exposed to the actual virus or a bigger version of the real virus, the body then knows to treat it just like that small piece that they had injected into them, to treat it just like that. Now, from what I understand, what she's saying with and that's DNA vaccines, right? What she's saying about RNA and mRNA vaccines, or this particular one for the most part, is it's not a live version of the vaccine itself, but it's something like it's being built, it's being constructed, right? So it's kind of like a fake piece of the coronavirus vaccine that is just created on its own or whatever, right? But it creates it in tandem with one's own body. But what she's saying that is happening and that can happen is that, all right, it's supposed to create a protein of the actual virus itself that it's supposed to vaccinate against. But what can and does happen, according to what this woman is saying, as I understand it, is that it could create a protein of something else, of anything that's not the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I took from that is, let's say someone doesn't eat goat, right? They never ate goat before. They get the vaccine, right? A year down the line, they say they're going to they're going to eat some goat, right? So they eat some goat. And next thing you know, that goat has a protein that looks foreign, that looks similar to what the vaccine was supposed to build against the coronavirus or whatever. And then, and they see this goat protein and they start attacking it. Or just an autoimmune disease where the body starts attacking itself or starts attacking something else that may supposed to be valuable. And now people are getting sick, just based off of, just the body attacking itself, just based off of something other than trying to protect itself against the coronavirus, because it's something else that doesn't look familiar. You feel what I'm saying? So whereas a normal vaccine, you get a live version of the actual virus, since this vaccine, it's constructing or building something, it leaves more opportunity open for error for the body to attack its own self, because they think that thing that's supposed to be the coronavirus that it built something else, or built something that's necessary. It just starts going to attack like healthy things. I forget the word. There's I think a cytokine storm. That's another term for it, where one's immune system goes against itself and starts attacking itself in a sense. Like one's immune system might get hyper. So this is actually the concern that I had, was more so years down the line. I didn't break it down as specific as this woman did, but just in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the reason why vaccines take anywhere from 8 to 15 years to come out is because they need that long-term study. They need to try it on people, animals, or whatever, small sets of people or animals or whatever, and see what happens in 8 to 15 years. You know what I mean? To make sure they don't have an autoimmune disease or body attacking itself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So the very thing that she's concerned about, it totally fit what I was concerned about, but she's just going into, I guess, the scientific detail as to why. Now, if y'all want to check this video out, it's called, what is it, Dr. Lewis? I pronounced the name wrong, but you get it. Dr. Louise, whatever that says, MD, shares her thoughts on mRNA COVID vaccines. So let me let her continue.
Where the body just doesn't know exactly which cells are good or bad anymore. So this is something that we need to consider. And I have serious concerns about this. Again, because it's not been tested thoroughly. And second of all, my humble opinion, a vaccine is maybe at this point not the thing that we should be pushing, because the techniques are so new. And we are literally genetically altering the cells, if you will. And that's something to look at. And I think that, again, it is my duty to inform you about this so that you can make an informed decision. Mostly because I think you're very smart and you're very intelligent. And I think it's important to really educate yourself when you're going to make decisions that are about your body, that are about your entire system for the rest of your life. Because RNA is in your cells. It doesn't go anywhere. You can't take it out anymore. So please.
Oh, yeah, I want to add something, right? What's interesting, she's talking about this RNA and this virus. This vaccine has been made of RNA. Interestingly enough, I went to a lecture back in 2013 in Harlem. Some of y'all are familiar with Dr. Phil Valentine. And Dr. Phil Valentine did a presentation on RNA. And he was talking about how the world, I'm putting up air quotes, the world at large, those in power or whatever, the powers that be, if you will, that they are at the time in 2013 and have plans on pushing RNA into humans. You know what I'm saying? It's part, I think it was part of the whole trans-organic thing and everything, turning humans and putting, combining humans in technology, chipping them, stuff of that caliber or whatever. So I found it interesting when I found out that this COVID-19 vaccine was an RNA vaccine, because that presentation, he was speaking about it in 2013, Dr. Phil Valentine. You could look it up, type in Dr. Phil Valentine, RNA. And I'm sure you'll be able to find his work. And, you might even find the actual video of that presentation back in 2013, right? What else is interesting? Speaking of the whole hybrid, human, trans, organic, whatever weird stuff, combining humans and robots and all that old crazy stuff, right? Is you might have heard of nanobites or nanotechnology. Small little pieces of technology that they put in you that's way smaller than the smallest of microchips. That's like the size of a cell, but it's some like artificial technology, technological created stuff that they're injecting in people or whatever. Now, when you look up the details of, the current coronavirus COVID-19 vaccines, you're going to see the letters NANO followed by the rest of some long ass word. But it's like nanotechnology is actually being used or has been used, and it's open. It's not any spooky information or anything. It's, clear cut facts. It's in the white papers. You know what I'm saying? You'll find out that nanotechnology has been used in this vaccine. And I kind of put some things together because I remember when they were first talking about the vaccine, they were talking about they were having issues with it because it needs to stay frozen. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be frozen to like super freezing degrees, way more cold than the best freezer could actually make it, to freeze. You know what I'm saying? And that was an issue. They were having trouble transporting it because it had to stay frozen. And I kind of put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm no expert in this type of stuff, but technological things often need to be frozen to be preserved. Like, remember when you would have batteries, your AA batteries back in the day, the old trick we did when they ran out, you wanted to get a little more juice out of them. What do? Throw them in the freezer for like, 30, 40 minutes. Boom. You could rock your Walkman for another 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, I found that interesting. But yeah, nanotechnology has actually been used in the COVID-19 vaccines. It is not a myth. It is real.
Please, I'm not some anti-vaxxer. I'm not some anti-nothing. I don't need to go anti-anything because we have enough polarity as it is in the world, and that's not necessary. I'm just going to urge you to educate yourself, to make an informed decision based maybe on what you know deep within, because the answer always lies within. And if you need any more information, please, there is enough information out there, and educate yourself. Have a wonderful day.
I second that. Have a wonderful day. Now, what I noticed from the beginning part of this video when I was trying to show the comments, I think I had the screen not on the comments. So I think I had it like on the same screen that just showed the Google screen. So what I'm going to do right before I end this, I'm going to scroll back through the comments. I won't reread them. I'll just, scroll through them if anyone wants to take screenshots or whatever. But I don't think I had this shown when I was first talking about it. So do a quick little scroll through, and then I'm up out of here. You know what I mean? I'll just cite out the ones in particular. Let me make sure it's on now. Yep, it is. Cool. Boom. Stepdad. That one's important. Oh yeah, this is the main one that I wanted to cite out if my mouse is hovering over it. So yeah, peep that one. All right. So yeah, I hope this was informative. Again, in closing, I'm not gonna recommend against or for anyone getting the vaccine or anything like that. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about some real heavy matters. So all I'm gonna do is put the information out there. You know what I mean? The information that you may not normally see on a day-to-day, you know what I'm saying? So it'll give you something to think about, and, you make your own informed decision. Look it up. Again, like I said, look up coronavirus vaccine side effects or something of that caliber, and go through some comments. And again, don't just look for the comments where it's a one-off, one person talking about them or their friend, their loved one that has had a bad situation. I want you to really pay attention to the ones that talk about clusters of people around them, 2 or more people that they know that, things went bad after getting the vaccine. You know what I mean? And then you decide if it says, if bad side effects are as rare as it's being said that they are. You know what I mean? And of course, feel free to,